Hey everybody, welcome back to an episode of the 3 Count. I'm War Machine AJ, and I'm here today to talk about last week's network stuff because I am a lazy person. So, you know how this show runs down. We start from least entertaining episode to most entertaining episode with match of the week thrown in. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started as I wash my hands without any soap or water. How do I do it? Ooh. Anyway, we kick off this show with 205 Live. It was a decent enough show. It loses out to both the NXTs. We kicked off the show with the Singh brothers, who were looking forward to their tag match against the Lucha House Party, but because the Lucha House Party couldn't make it after they got their asses handed to them by Lars Sullivan, they decided that they would take a count out victory. When Drake Maverick came out there and said, "Nope, you still got opponents. You'll take on the team of Gentleman Jack Gallagher and Humberto Carrillo." Yeah, there's nobody here, so I can really let the pipes go. This was a fun enough match. In the end, however, Gallagher and Carrillo put away the Singh brothers, as if no surprise. Next up, we had a fatal 5-way match. 5. To determine who's got the best case to be #1 contender for Buddy Murphy's cruiserweight title. Sorry, it's 10:30 in the morning and my brain's kind of fried. It was between Akira Tozawa, Oni Lorcan, Mike Kanellis, the Brian Kendrick, and Arya Daivari. This was just a fast-paced demolition match. But, however, Akira Tozawa picked up the victory. Yeah. And apparently Tozawa and Kendrick are still friends, even though they kind of exchanged blows during the match. So, yeah, that's 205 Live. Not terribly entertaining, but also not terribly boring. Next, we move on to NXT UK as we kick off the show for the final Fatal 4-Way qualifying match between the Kiwi Buzzsaw Travis Banks and Joseph Connors. This was a stiff and very, very painful match. But in the end, Travis Banks landed the Slice of Heaven, followed by the Kiwi Crusher, to earn his way into the Fatal 4-Way, where he will take on Joe Coffey, Jordan Devlin, Dave Mastiff in 2 weeks' time. Anyway, next we had a rematch from several weeks ago, where Noam Dar and Mark Andrews wound up taking themselves out of the match. So we get our rematch, and this is a spectacular match until Noam Dar feigned a knee injury on Mark Andrews, and Andrews kind of fell for it until Noam Dar hit him with the Nova Rolla from behind. So Noam Dar wins, and we just move forward. Next, Rhea Ripley comes out to comes out to the ring, and basically just puts Piper Niven on notice. Yeah, the description department for this episode of NXT UK, where it was very, very, very lacking, with the exception of the final match of the night, aka the match of the week. It was for the WWE United Kingdom Championship. Walter Dunne Part 2. Oh my God, this was a big fight match. As both of these guys vowed to kick the shit out of each other. Pete Dunne vowed to take back his UK title, and Walter vowed to, well, kick Pete Dunne back off the mountain. Yeah, just a brutal, hard-hitting affair, which yeah, towards the end of the match, as Pete Dunne was wrenching away at the arm of the ring general, Fabian Eichner came out there and distracted the referee, while Marcel Bartel broke up the submission attempt by Peter Dunne as Walter put away Dunne with the powerbomb, signaling that the reign persists, as Walter is now flanked by his two allies in Eichner and Bartel. So yeah, move over, Gallus. There's a new faction in town. Next, we move on to NXT Show of the Week. So we kicked off the show with General Manager William Regal announcing for Takeover 25. We're going to have an NXT Tag Team Championship ladder match between four of the top NXT teams, all duking it out for those vacant tag titles. We have the team of Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler, the Forgotten Sons, Dawkins and Ford, the Street Profits. I almost called them the Primetime Players for some reason. Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. Sorry, you two wanted to act up. Anyway, where was I? Oni Lorcan, Danny Burch. And of course, Undisputed Era's very own Kyle O'Reilly and Bob Fish. And speaking of Undisputed Era, now that they're back on the same page, Adam Cole declared that Undisputed Era is stronger than ever, and that once again the era is going to be draped in gold. Johnny Boy came out there, tried to give Adam Cole a quick math lesson. And while they were too busy focusing on Johnny Champion, Matt Riddle came in there and got a piece of the Undisputed Era for Roger Strong taking him out a couple weeks ago. So that would set up a tag team match between Bob Fish and Kyle O'Reilly against Gargano and Riddle. Next up, we had Mansoor taking on Sean Maluda. This was an alright match. It was pretty good. Mansoor got the win. They're really liking this guy because he's been featured on NXT and NXT UK. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with him next. He could be a solid mid-carder at the very least. Next, we had the Velveteen Dream. DREAM, baby. Z came out there to say that everybody wants the dream. Everybody wants to experience the dream. Everybody wants to touch and feel the dream. And basically, he put everybody on notice, saying, "You either say my name with respect, or you keep my name out your mouth." Unfortunately, a surprise return didn't get the memo in the form of Prince Pretty himself, Tyler Breeze. And let me just say, oh man, that crowd response. Ovacious, audacious. They welcomed that man back home. And, you know, both these two had a good back and forth with each other. Uh, Dream told Breeze to get at the back of the line, but hey, for your troubles, you can get a selfie with the champ. I forgot exactly what Breeze said, but it was kind of a good one-liner. While he said it while they were trying to set it for a selfie, and then right as Velveteen Dream was trying to put two and two together on what he said, Prince Pretty just clocked him one. So yeah. Next, we had a one-on-one contest between Candice LeRae and Reina Gonzalez. Of course, Candice won. No surprise there. But then she was ambushed by Shayna Baszler and her horse henchwomen. However, the odds were turned against Baszler and her horse mates as Io Shirai came out there with kendo stick in hand, started giving everybody a taste of the ugly stick. Later on in the show, it was announced in, I think they said next week or 2 weeks' time, we're getting a rematch between Mia Yim and Bianca Belair. That should be a killer match. Anyway, yeah. Our main event, Bob Fish and Kyle O'Reilly of the Undisputed Era shocked the system. Took on Johnny Gargano and Matt Riddle. This was a pretty good match. All four of these guys can do no wrong. However, towards the end of towards the end of the match, right when Matt Riddle was in the driver's seat, about to put away the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, baby, comes out there and distracts Matt Riddle for Roderick Strong to come in and finish off the job. So yeah. The Undisputed Era won. God forgive me. It's almost 11 o'clock. My brain's kind of starting to turn to mush. Anyway, yeah. Takeover 25. Definitely going to be a stacked card. After coming off the heels of AEW's Double or Nothing, that's going to be a hard act to follow, even for NXT. But NXT will at least hold their own. They don't have to. I'll put it to you this way. They don't have to win. They just have to place. And right now, the way the main roster is going, they're definitely going to place, because that crowd response Monday night is anything to go by. Main roster, preferably, Vinnie Mac is in trouble. We'll talk about that on the latest 3 count for Raw and SmackDown. But aside from that, I'm tired, War Machine MJ. And I will see you guys next time. To swing me.